Top 5 favorite palettes, let's go. This is a very serious video. If you're not subscribed to me already, please do. It means so much to me when you do, and like this video if you like more content like this, and I will keep creating more content like this. Okay, top 5 palettes. I posted on my YouTube section, the community section, if you guys would rather see my top 10 products or my top 5 palettes. Well, at first, top 10 products was winning, so I already did that video, and I decided to leave eyeshadow palettes out of it. If you are new to my channel, I do a lot of reviews on palettes throughout the year. They're just my favorite thing in makeup. I just love palettes. First of all, they're just so pretty, and second of all, it's honestly a better deal for your wallet buying a palette versus singles. You guys said you wanted to see a top 5, so here it is. Let's get into it. If you want to see my top 5 favorite palettes, let's go. Palette. Okay, I want you to guess. I'm gonna say this is my favorite one. Not necessarily quality, which might surprise you. Quality half yes, half no. More so like, I'm just gonna show you. So this palette awed me a lot this year. It made me so happy. This is the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival 3 Love Tahiti by Stacey Marie. So Stacey Marie has done a few Carnival palettes with them already, and this is obviously the third one. This is my first palette ever from Be Perfect. It's my first Carnival palette, but this color story, amazing. Chef's kiss. Perfection. It's like what we needed for 2020. Okay, so I bought this as soon as it launched, so I do have a 3 looks 1 palette. I have a first impression, so if you want to see more about just the palette, then go watch those videos. But this, first of all, the outer packaging is like the cutest thing ever. It is a pretty big palette, but the duochromes in this are perfect. It's got a huge mirror, and here's what the color story looks like if you're not familiar. My only con is that the mattes are a little bit more tricky to work with. I feel like they were pigmented, but when it came to blending, that's where I kind of ran into issues. But honestly, it has some of the most beautiful duochromes, which if you were to buy them all separately from like an indie makeup brand, it would really add up. Like, it would be almost as much as this palette. But there's just some very beautiful, soft, perfect shimmers and duochromes in here. Some of them are a little bit more toppery-esque, but it's just so unique. It's just so pretty, and I just love it. I just love it. It's like the palette when I think of like a palette I would love to use again, it's this one. I mean, when I say love to use again, it's because I have a lot of palettes. It's this one. I mean, these greens, these murky greens, these beautiful purples. I love greens and purples too, so I could see this as a year-round palette. The color story honestly is what sells it for me, and the duochromes. The duochromes, the color story. I think it's a good price for all of this. So this is probably my top palette. Like, I don't know why I started with my top palette, but wait, I'll link that down below. For another rainbow palette, I would say what came in like a close second with that one would probably be the Lisa Frank palette. But I didn't choose that one because the shimmers aren't that great in it. The mattes I feel like are great. It's almost like if this like color story had those mattes, this would be just the most bomb palette in the world. But the Lisa Frank one is pretty good, but the shimmers they just don't do it for me. A really hard time deciding between the next two, just like picking one, and it's the Sugarpill palette. So this is the first time I've ever tried Sugarpill, and first of all, this packaging is like the most unique packaging I've ever seen. I'm really glad that they're keeping with this. I think they've come out with 2 more since they've released these, but I got some for my birthday, and the shimmers, like some of them are super intense, some of them are more topper shade, but they come with blushes as well, and it has a mirror. Their blushes are so good. They're very pigmented. They're very pretty. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be this one. the more peachy neutral one. This is the orange capsule one. And I think it's because I love the peachy blush more, but also there's just something about like these. I love peaches. I love peachy shades. I think they're beautiful. So it's wearable for every day, but also like something about this like duochrome is really gorgeous. I like the shimmers better in this one than in the pink palette, but I mean, I like them both. I really like them both. This one's like so cute. Like it's just so cute. And these are palettes too that I keep wanting to be like, I want to use those again. I want to use those again. I can't wait. Capsule palettes specifically, probably more so. This one is a little bit more wearable for every single day, but I have been loving these palettes. If you haven't tried anything from Sugarpill, highly recommend it. I don't think you can really go wrong with the formula, and it's super cute. My next favorite palettes have been the Kaleidos palettes. This is an indie makeup brand if you're not familiar, but they're just so cute, and also they have like some of the prettiest duochromes in it. They came out with one, this is called their Lunar Lavender one, and as you can tell, those duochromes are truly intense. And then the Sashimi City, which is a gorgeous, more neutral palette, which I absolutely love, but I'd have to say this would be my number 3. I absolutely love the packaging. It's so unique, but also everything performed so well in this. And then again, like, I'm sorry, I can't with shimmer duochrome shades and purples. This was probably my favorite purpley palette that has launched this year. I was kind of deciding between this one and the Juvia's Place little purple one. I really liked that Juvia's Place Nubian Royal, I think. That purple palette was really good, but I think if I really had to choose, this one is more up my alley as opposed to like brighter, intense duochrome shades, and that one also has a pressed glitter, and I'd rather just not have a pressed glitter. So this palette, I highly recommend checking out Kaleidos. They have some really cute palettes, and they're really good quality and for a really good price. So definitely check out Kaleidos. This is probably palette number 3. It's just so pretty, and again, these are palettes that I want to keep using over and over and over again. Palette number 4, we've got the Raw Beauty Christy Times Pure. I honestly loved this, and it is so cool. I don't know, sometimes it comes back in stock on Ulta. It's supposed to be limited edition. It kind of surprises you when it pops up. Like, there's never really much warning, unless she warns people and I'm just missing it. But she came out with this actually right when we moved into our new house, and I actually tried doing a first impressions in a hotel room. It was a really fun time. The palette actually was. Both sides you get a mirror, and it's a 9-pan palette on both sides. So on this one is your more fun, colorful side, and then on this side you have neutrals. And it's the perfect travel palette. I was so impressed with the quality of the mattes. The quality is really what sold me with this palette. The color story, obviously, like, I feel like you have a little bit of everything. Like, you just can't go wrong with it. And I think it was like $35 or something, so the price point was perfect, and for what you're getting, I think is perfect. And these shimmers in here are some of the most intense shimmers I have ever seen. They're like so good. The mattes are buttery. I just, like, I remember using these shimmers being like, these shimmers look wet. Like, they're insane. I liked this so much more than her ColourPop. I liked this palette so much more than her ColourPop one. Not just because it has more colors, but honestly the quality is just so much better in this palette. There are some colors I like more so in her ColourPop one. I actually really loved the color story. And I love that green duochrome, but I still love this one more, and I think it was just one of my favorite palettes this year, and I really love it. I love it. I think she did a great job. Okay, I have to pick a 5th one, and this is so hard. This is so hard. I should have made a top 10. I don't know why I made this 5. Like, this is extremely hard right now. So this might super surprise you, but it's the Jaclyn Hill times Morphe palette volume 2. I do know there was issues with this palette because her first one was vegan friendly and this one wasn't, and they didn't really put it out there, which I think is pretty cruddy of them. But this palette is one that I consistently think about a lot in the back of my mind, like wanting to use more, wanting to do more tutorials with, like all the time. And the quality, whoa, what happened? Okay, I'm like, and the quality is really good. So, well, we had a little bit of a mess made. There is no mirror in this, which, you know, I love having mirrors and palettes. We gotta clean her up. We gotta clean her up. Something happened, which is weird. I don't really see any broken shadows. It's kind of actually really weird. But this color story, again, the color story really got me, and I think the quality is just really nice. Some of the shimmers you do have to work more with, but everything else, like, I just really want to use it again. Obviously, you can tell I'm very into like pinky purples, but like, I don't know. There's some like beautiful cranberry shades, and then there's like these beautiful like fuchsia pink color, like magenta, but then you have all these beautiful warm tone neutrals. I was gonna try and do a Thanksgiving tutorial for you guys. I wasn't able to do it, and I wanted to use this palette for it because I feel like this one inspired, sorry, I'm like trying to clean it. I feel like this one really inspired me for like Thanksgiving, but obviously it's very like summer fun, but then it can take you into fall too because you have those really warm tones, and I want to use it more, and I think I need to keep it out so that I do use it more because I really love her. I say this, it surprises me too because there's been so many great palettes, but color story and like how it performs and price point, I think it's probably been one of my favorite palettes this year, and I want to use it more. All right, let me know down below what your favorite palette of the year was, and or maybe let us know what your least favorite palette of the year was. I'll go first, hold on. Probably the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox. Surprise. I'm surprised. I need to use it more. I feel like every single look I do with this palette looks exactly the same. I know they have different undertones to these mattes, but it like doesn't matter. Like no matter what look I do, I feel like even the like rosier shades like somehow turn more gray on my eye, and like these very like the ones that look like they might have a tiny bit of warmth end up looking gray on my eye. Like they all just end up looking gray on my eye, and I get that the point is to be cool toned, but they just look so, they all just like end up looking the same. Just I bought the Bare Necessity one. I thought I loved cool tones, and I do. Like when I look at them in pan, I love these colors, and then when I put them on my eye, I'm like, know what your least favorite palette was and your favorite. I would love to know your favorite palette because maybe there's more palettes out there I need to try. I don't know. You guys have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to hit this like button. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, if you're wondering what's on my eyes right now, I am getting ready to post a 2 looks 1 palette using the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Vivid Rose palette, which I absolutely adore. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video.